Good evening, everyone. Okay, so today we are going to discuss about a section which we have not spoken about. We have discussed the reading section, we have discussed the speaking section, we have discussed many documents of the writing section. But the listening section, the hearing section, we have not spoken about. So watch the video in a very thorough manner, focus on everything that I am going to discuss today. And I would want to remind you that you can be associated with our student community whenever you want, and our WhatsApp number is given in the description. So if you have any issues, if you have any comments, if you want to ask about something, if you are facing any issues as far as this exam is concerned, just send me a WhatsApp, okay, and I would be more than happy to answer your queries. Okay, so now we are going to going to proceed and check our document regarding this segment. Okay, so now I am presenting a new document before everyone. Pay attention. Okay. So in this section, first we have to take care that whether the speaker is speaking about one thing or whether the speaker is talking about numerous things. So if the speaker is talking about one point, then we have to mention one point. If the speaker is talking about many points, numerous points, then we can talk about numerous points. So basic mistake which everyone makes. So keep your ears open here in a very careful manner. Okay. Then sometimes the speakers talk in synonyms. They don't give you a direct answer. So you have to be smart enough to guess that what could be the exact answer. Then sometimes they add, they subtract, they divide when they are talking. So you need to do the same things in the piece of extra paper that you have in your rough paper. So they might say that X bought 50% of the store's products. A bought 20% products lesser than X and B bought 10% more than A. So how many products did B bought? What was the percentage of the products that B bought? Okay. So 50 minus 20 and then you add 10 more. That is the percentage of products that B bought. So you have to be smart enough to do these things in your mind and in the piece of paper that you have. Suppose they are giving you four options. So they would provide you two or three of the options when they are speaking. So none of these options are wrong, but you have to choose the most important option. That most important option is the priority for the candidate, and that is your answer. Even if you think that two or three answers might be correct for one question, in MCQs, you choose the best answer. See, because what it is, this is not exact mathematics. There are some techniques, but it is not mathematics or this is not science where you have an exact answer. So adding 2 and 2 is 4 in mathematics, but this is arts, and in the arts section, whatever you can write, a better answer awaits you. So there is something that is better from what you have written. And that is why if you think that two or three answers are right, you choose the best option. Okay. Now we are going to talk about maps. So in the maps, they would talk about direction. See, in a map, you have to imagine that you are standing at that area, which the map is depicting. So in a map, you are walking and you are searching for different dots. You are trying to connect various dots in the map. So now imagine that whenever you walk in a straight manner. So when we are walking straight, the next door is the door which comes ahead or in the forward direction. So suppose there is the next bus stop, there is the next metro stop, there is the next room, so that would be ahead of us. So even if a room is adjoined or joined, that is not your answer. That room is there to just confuse you. The room at the back, the one which you have, the one which is behind you, okay, that's the back door or the room at the end. Okay, and when we say that we have to cross the road, then most of the times that is opposite the road. Across the road is opposite the road. Okay, so this is chess. They are having their tricks, they are bringing their tricks. They are trying to confuse you. Okay, they are attacking your mind. So before they checkmate you, you have to checkmate them. Okay, then before talking about the answer, they use connectors such as therefore, however, despite, because, in spite of, but, next, etc. So you have to wait for these connectors. After the connectors, most of the times 60 to 70, or even you can say 80% of the times, the answer is after the connectors. But sometimes the answers are not after the connectors. So you have to be smart enough to understand when the speakers are finishing their sentences, what did they say in the end, how much many times did they argue. Okay, everything you have to make a note in the mind, or you can make notes in your rough sheet of paper. So try to hear most of the music, okay, because they sing very fast. Music is a great aid to memory. Rhyme, rhythm, they support your brain to focus on what is being said, and then you can remember stressed words, which are the most important part in any passage of speech. Try to hear as many songs as you can. Okay, don't watch the text, don't watch the videos, and whatever you hear, the audio, try to write down whatever you hear in the audio. Then check on Wikipedia that how much percentage, what is the percentage that you got right, and what is the percentage where you are making mistakes. Try to repeat the audio, okay, and write once more. Okay, then watch movies, try to hear the news, and instead of watching, it would be better if you just hear the audio and try to write what every character is saying in the movie. Okay, suppose you are watching a war movie, so there is too much disturbance. Within within that bombing, if you can write what you are hearing, then that is the best way to beat speed. Okay, so you have to beat the pace at which the characters are speaking in movies. You have to beat the speed with which the news anchor is speaking in the news. Okay, so stop the video and just hear the audio. Try to write whatever the anchors are saying, what different characters are saying in a movie. Okay, so BBC, CNN, Star Movies, HBO, you should watch these programs. Okay, okay. So now there are 40 questions and 4 sections. In section 1, two speakers are talking among each other. So most of the times it's a phone conversation between two human beings. As an instance, they want to organize an area for some important program, for some important project. They want to rent an apartment. So you have to you have to hear about specific information such as names, dates, times, numbers, etc. Section 2 is about one speaker. Most of the time, that is a talk from a guide. So you might hear information about some resort, you might hear information about a company, charity, etc. So you have to make your answers according to the information given to you in the audio. Section 3, three speakers or four speakers, most of the times. It is an academic discussion. So this is the section which offers you the most MCQs. So many human beings think Many candidates think that this section is very tough. No, it's not tough. It's tricky. Tough is a word which we don't use to make champions. So for champions, nothing is tough. So you guys are champions. Okay? So it's tricky, it's dicey, but it's not tough. So in the academic discussion, most of the times two students would be talking with the professor, or one student might be presenting his or her research or his or her experiences. So you have to take care and you have to focus on on their speeches. You have to focus on their discussion. Okay, so most of the times they bring the answer in the end. Okay, if one person is saying something, the other person might contradict that, and in the end bring you the exact answer. So you have to be very patient and you have to be very smart, okay, to attain the best answer. Then section 4 is one speaker. Most of the times it's an academic lecture that the speaker gives you. Okay, there would be many accents in this test. Main accents would be either American or British. So that is why you have to hear both CNN and BBC. These are very important. Then Canadian accent, South African accent, Irish accent can be there. Okay, so you can hear news of news, Canadian news, CBS, or you can hear South African news or Irish news sometimes to improve your understanding of those accents. Then you have to do many things together. You have to be smart enough, you have to be many things together. Multitasking is very important in this test. Even if you don't know the answer, try to guess and write something because there's no negative marking. Okay? And it's better to write something, take a chance to gain a point. Take a chance to gain a point. Okay? How are words and numbers taken care of? So suppose there's a date 1950. So 1950 is one number. However big the number is, it would be one number. It won't be two numbers. So if they are asking you to write two numbers, this is one number. You have to write one more number. Okay? But make sure that whatever you write matches with the grammar of the sentence. Okay? Then different types of questions in this section. You have to write about forms, you have to do notes, you have to make summaries, sentences, MCQs, diagrams, maps, form charts. Okay, so most of the characters try to talk about extra things most of the times whenever there is a discussion, but you have to concentrate enough, you have to maintain patience, and your answer would appear. So focus is very important. Okay, your answer would appear in the end, wait for that. Okay, check every question in a very thorough manner. There are times when the answers would come at a pretty fast pace, and you might receive even three answers in a very short period. So you have to write them at a fast pace. On the other hand, when there are times when the answers might not come at a fast pace, there might be a pause between answers, but that pause should not break your concentration. Within that pause, try to think about the right answer. So this happens most of the times in section 4. Okay. Then there are times when the answer is changed during discussion. So as I discussed with you, this is the most tricky part. You have to take care of it. Okay. So suppose as an instance we are saying that is it okay to go to the hospital maybe at 8 p.m. Okay. Yes, 8 p.m. is a good time for us to meet. Then the second person says, third person says, wait, something important has come up. Maybe we can meet after 45 minutes than the time we had discussed before. So now the first person says, okay, fine, we can. So the time they had discussed at the beginning was 8 p.m., but now the speaker has added 45 minutes more to it. In such a scenario, we would add 45 minutes more. So now they are going to meet at 8:45 p.m. Don't brood over missed answers. Never brood over missed answers. Move forward. In the end, when you have time, when you would be editing, when you would be checking your every answer, then you can come back and do that answer. Try to remember it. Write on the paper something which you remember about it, something, some hint. Okay, or if you are thinking about some answer, write down in the paper, in the rough sheet. And when you return to the same answer, check the rough sheet, check your hint, and try to think about what could have been your answer. Okay, there's no negative marking for a wrong answer. So attempt every question because if your guess is right, you might earn an extra mark, and that extra mark is very important. Okay, so suppose you are giving the test, the pen and paper based test, you would have 40 minutes, 30 minutes for writing the answers, 10 minutes extra you would be given. Okay, so that if you have made any mistakes you can go back and check them, or if you want to write something extra you can add them. But in the computer based exam you would have 30 minutes, so within that 30 minutes you have to do everything. 2 minutes extra you might get, that 2 minutes extra would be to edit. Try to finish your exam before the time period so that you have 2 3 minutes to check every answer. You can do editing. Whichever answer you are not sure about, write in the rough sheet, write some hint regarding it, and when the rest of the paper is done, maybe the pressure is gone. So now you can write that answer. Okay. So stay tuned with us and be associated with us. Keep on checking notification. Drop your comments. Um, and if you want to ask me anything, my number is mentioned in the discussion section as I have informed you before. You can connect with me anytime. In the description box, you would get more information about our organization, about our methods. Okay. Thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you so much for watching it in a thorough manner. And I would bring some new questions for you in the next video. So goodbye for now and take care. And keep on reading newspapers, watch movies, try to hear about songs, write down them, try to increase the speed of YouTube videos. So whenever you are doing a video, try to increase its speed and then write the answers. So if you can conquer speed, you would surpass this test, okay, with some amazing bands. So I have had candidates with me who have scored even 9 in this section. So if you take care of these instructions, you can do the same. If you want to ask me any questions, I would be happy to answer them. Thank you so much. So keep on bringing your queries and be associated with us. Thank you so much and goodbye for today.